Hey, Mark.
Hey, Bart.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You know, I was just on my way to the bank. I rolled some pennies this morning out of my piggy bank, as you know, we all do. Have you ever had a piggy bank?
Piggies, no. But elephants, tigers, and bears.
Oh, my. So no piggies, but look at that tiger.
Yeah, the tiger's showing off a little bit front and center. These are all Stanford pottery banks made in the late 40s to maybe early 50s. Made in Ohio.
There's a lot of pottery made in Ohio.
Yeah, I think it might have been Sebring, Ohio. Anyway, they were in the Cleveland area, and they were most famous for their Cleveland Indian banks. As you can see on the far left there, there's Chief Wahoo in all his glory, highlighted by having a gold tooth. Every one of them has a gold tooth, except for the tiger there. They were best known for the Indian, and they made more of him than all the others combined, probably. And the others are rarer. So right now you're kind of focused on the Boston Brave, which is a dead ringer for the Indian.
I was going to say.
Same mold down to the embossing on the chest. If you look really closely, by using the same mold as the Indians, see the underneath?
Wow.
You can see the dot of the eye.
Right.
So it does say Indians underneath in the embossing, but it's painted Braves. And there are far fewer of the Braves, as you can imagine. So it tends to sell for at least double or 3 times what the Indians bank sells for.
So they basically took this and just painted Braves over it.
That's exactly what they did. Now on all the others, the embossing does match the painted team name on the chest. So there's the Pirates, one of my favorites.
And there's the gold tooth.
Yeah, now there are different variations of the pirate. This guy has kind of a goatee, or a Van Dyke, I guess you'd call it. Another one has just a mustache. And then there's another version, they call it the albino version, and he's almost all white. So the albino version is the rarest of them all, but it's also the ugliest. So it's a case where the rarest doesn't always sell for the most money. He's got a gold earring to match his gold tooth, and he's got the green eye patch, which I think is a nice touch.
Right, and then the bandana. So he's holding a glove, and the Indian's holding a bat. So I guess they just mixed that up, huh?
Yeah, and then next to the pirate, you have the tiger who's sporting a glove. He's really cool. I've always loved this. This has always been one of my favorites. So with the advent of eBay, it kind of exposed the tiger to be a little more common than was originally thought. Originally, he sold for about $1,700 to $1,800.
Wow.
In mint condition, of course, with no cracks or chips.
Right, I assume all these are mint?
All these are mint, yeah. I just can't deal with the cracks. I don't see the doll itself, I just see the flaw.
Well, that kind of goes with the whole thing, right? I mean, like, why would you display this so beautifully if it was flawed?
Well, there you go. Thanks for supporting my illness.
Of course. The doctor is in.
Yeah, so the tiger is a great one. He's got the ready stance and everything. He's just different than the rest.
Oh, he's holding a ball, too.
He's holding a ball in the right hand and a glove on the left hand, so he's a righty.
And he's ready to do something. Okay, you have a ball, throw it. And then next to Tiggy is, he's just too cool.
Isn't he magnificent? That's
the
Brooklyn Dodger bum. I like how they didn't put Dodgers on the chest. They just put bums. It's probably a lot easier to fit on there.
Love his stance.
Chewing on that cigar. Yeah, now in terms of rarity, he's another rare one, about on par with the tiger. But he can be had nowadays for about $1,000. He's come down.
I'll tell you what, you can have me for $1,000. You need a watch?
If he could talk, I think that's exactly how he would sound. So the Brooklyn Bum was a beloved character, and I'm sure they sold quite a few of those back in the day.
Right, so these are all from the 40s or 50s, right?
Yeah, these would be late 40s, most likely.
These are just too cool. So look who's downstairs. Oh, look at the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we got a mixture of Stanford pottery and Gibbs Connor here. The 3 in front are all Stanford pottery, with the white elephant in the middle really being the white whale, because he is rare. There's probably less than 6 or 7 known to exist. Why they made so few is anyone's guess.
6 or 7 in the world?
6 or 7 known. I think I've seen 4. It's a super cool piece. Such a friendly looking elephant, looking a little bit like Dumbo there. Philadelphia A's, just an iconic mascot. I've had a lot of offers on that one and I just can't let it go. The rarity is just off the charts on that one.
Looks like a pitcher in his set position, right?
Yeah, he's in the set position. And his eyes are going to the left. Looks like he's looking at the guy on first base, thinking about picking him off maybe.
Yeah.
Just a really cool pose. And it's gone on to be one of the great mascots for over a century now. So
and still a patch with the Oakland A's today.
yeah, they still wear the patch on their sleeve. Whether they'll do so in Las Vegas remains to be seen, but hopefully they will.
Oh, that's right.
So then you want to go the other 2 in front. That is a Detroit Tigers man face. Even rarer than the Tiger mascot himself.
Not really man eyebrows, but man face.
Who do those eyebrows? Is that Phyllis Diller eyebrows?
Exactly.
Really tough to find, especially in this condition. And I was happy to find that one a long, long time ago. Probably in the late 90s is when I acquired him.
So he's bookended over here with a more albino version, kind of generic. No team?
Yeah, well, no team on this one. His skin is a little lighter. I haven't noticed that. But there's different shades of these things. They're not all exactly the same.
Right.
Which is kind of the beauty of them.
Exactly.
But you can see he's got the same basic face with the unusual eyebrows. Just for the baseball fan in general, they made a generic bank. And again, super rare. I mean, you'd think that there would be more of these out there, but there just aren't. And I like the way he's wearing his hat, kind of tipped sideways, a little bit like Jim Bottomley, if you know who that was, a Hall of Famer for the Cardinals and Reds. Very cool statue for a generic piece.
So did they sell these at the stadiums or in stores, or did the banks give them away? Or?
Yeah, that's a great question. They were sold at department stores, toy stores, or 5 and dime type stores. These were purchased probably for about $1.50 back in the day.
Wow. And then these guys in the back look a little different.
Yeah, they are Gibbs Connor banks. Gibbs Connor was a company thought to have only made Cleveland Indian banks up until the early 2000s. And then there was a tremendous find of Gibbs Connor banks. I actually got in touch with the heir to the Gibbs Connor estate.
No kidding.
Super cool guy. He made them all available to me, and I have every single team that they made. I rotate this display because they don't all fit in this cabinet. There's the Red Sox. It was for a while in the mid-50s, the Red Sox had a batting sock logo. And if you look at the...
so that's what's around his chin. That's the heel of a sock?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I was wondering what that was. That's so funny.
And then you can see the other stitch reinforcement at the top, just below his hat,
right,
where the top of the sock would be, where the elastic portion would be. So he's a sock head. The shoes are great. It's a rare one. These were prototypes to be sold at stores like Kresge's, which later became Kmart,
right,
and Woolworth. They had contracts with all those. They were going to go into production, and they never made it into full production.
Wow, so these are really rare.
Super rare. You don't see the Red Sox very often. And then to our right is the Braves.
Yeah, look at him. Look at that tomahawk.
Isn't he magnificent?
Yes.
Instead of holding a bat, they made him holding a tomahawk.
So you had something interesting to say about this Brave guy here, right?
Yeah, the Brave was probably from 1953 when they first became the Milwaukee Braves. And prior to that, they were the Boston Braves.
Look at that. But he's ready for a war.
Yeah, now this guy's different in 3 main ways. I love the face paint on this one. Then he's got the full headdress.
Right.
Instead of a mohawk. And I love how the yellow feathers fade to red in the back. And then on the base, it actually says Boston.
So is one Milwaukee and one Boston?
Yeah, the one in the back there is Milwaukee. And this is the one that preceded it. This is the rarer Boston version.
So the back of him is where you put the coin, right?
Yeah, you just insert the coin in the slot.
Oh, I see. So there's a slot there in the back of his head. Right.
Yeah.
And there's no stopper, so...
There's no stopper. If you look at the bottom of the bank, it's enclosed where the feet are.
Right.
So they were really more decorative than they were functional. You can see that how well they hold up, too. The ceramic just stands the test of time so well. It just doesn't age For example, the Heartland statues were known to turn yellowish.
Yeah, these look like they could have been made yesterday.
Yeah, they just retain their original color beautifully.
Just love these. And then living downstairs from them are more treasures. They look like the ones in the back.
They are. They're Gibbs Conner banks as well. Different styles, different mascots, all with the home plate base.
So much character to these.
Yeah, there's a lot of character there. So if
we start on the left
let's
here.
start on the extreme left. There
Got
you
another
have
bum.
You got the Brooklyn bum, slight different take on it than the Stanford Pottery bum.
And this one says bums on his cap.
Yeah, the Stanford Pottery had bums on the chest. This one has bums on the cap.
He's still a character chomping that cigar.
Yeah, and he's got Dodgers on his chest.
Yeah, Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Shoes almost look like saddle shoes.
Yeah, they almost look like Mr. Peanut with his spats.
Right, exactly.
Then,
behind him, another tiger.
Yeah, really cool one. I love the big tiger head.
Look at his eyes, they're captivating.
Yeah, he is a beautiful, beautiful statue.
Then you take I-94 across from Detroit and you go into Chicago. Get your cubs.
Really a cute little cubby.
He sure is.
This one would do very well at auction.
And the Cubs have such a rabid fan base.
Yeah,
too.
they have a rabid fan base who's not afraid to spend money. So I like how they underlined Chicago on his jersey. Now in back of him is the Philadelphia Athletics elephant, looking much different than the Stanford Pottery interpretation. They made him gray instead of white. In his trunk, he's holding a baseball.
Oh yeah, you can see the red stitching. Oh, that's funny. And then in front of him, we got Uncle Sam.
That's Uncle Sam, the Yankee mascot for years and years and years. He's cool too. He's got the white beard and looks very happy to be there. Gibbs Conner is thought to be a little less than Stanford Pottery in terms of the quality.
What it loses in detail, it kind of makes up for it with character, though.
Yeah, the character is just off the charts. The molds were good, but they just weren't painted quite as professionally.
Right. And then behind him is, oh, it's Eddie Munster.
No, it's the little Browns pixie. The
Browns.
It's the last uniform they wore before becoming the Orioles.
So another little interesting bonus thing is there's some red on the back of his head there, on the brownie.
It's tough to pick it up, but that's the antennas on his head.
Oh.
And
I didn't know brownies had antennas.
I guess back then they did.
Oh, well, now I do. Look at that's a what?
This is an actual sleeve patch off their 1952 home jersey. It's just a really cool...
So was a brownie an alien?
What is a pixie, an elf, or a brownie? What is the difference? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if they're aliens or Martians or what they are.
And he might have been the inspiration for Kazoo on the Flintstones.
It's crazy.
And then your guy.
Yeah, talk about saving the best for last. Look at him. He looks
Mr. Red.
Now he looks a little smug. He's usually got a little bit happier face than that, but...
looks like he's saying, what's your problem?
Very cool statue. I like how they made the face kind of beige to give him kind of a human element.
And the classic C and the red belt.
Everything you'd want in the red statue. The baseball head, the pillbox hat, everything. They really got it down.
Beautiful.
Yeah, super rare also.
Well, I love these. What a collection. I know you've got more, and we'll do that on another episode, but these are so fun. Thanks for sharing, Mark.
You're welcome.